So we needed to think about it felt like we needed to de-risk the strategy. So we started the Engine Room is a brand company. We work with businesses to look at their brand. But as with most design thinkers, we can't limit ourselves to that space. We can't create brands if they don't live up to the external manifestation of the logo or the identity. Through their products, through their services, through their people. And ultimately, the strategy of the business needed to be informed by some of the design research and the thinking that we'd carried out. So how did we talk to them about shifting their strategy to one which was essentially diversification? They're taking a brand new product into a brand new market. It was a brand new market because they had historically sold to the brands that you see on the shelf. This was them now moving to the sheds. They were having to sell in a completely different way. They were selling a branded product, potentially, rather than a manufactured good. So that was kind of interesting conversations. So they were up there on top right, a hand box, diversifying new products into new markets. Massive risk, the most risky business strategy that you can take. So how did we figure out a way to slightly affect that strategy? Well, we recognised that actually they had lots of products. They were experts in the manufacture of product, and so therefore, if we potentially looked at a range of products that built on their credentials as a leading manufacturer of sealants, as a leading manufacturer of adhesives, as a leading manufacturer of wood fillers and a range of other related products, then actually we would be really de-risking the fact that they were looking at one product into one market. So that was really the starting point for our thinking. We did subsequently go on to brand IPT, or to brand the range of products within this range as Graft. We retained IPT, as you can see there on the packaging, but we positioned it as a technology brand. Inert Polymer Technology is very much a technology brand. It's not necessarily a product brand. So this gave them something that gave them a bit of standout, but it also provided them with another route to market in the future where they could potentially license this patented and at this point award-winning technology to other brands and other potential suppliers of sealants. Whilst developing a name that felt it had more gravitas, it appealed very much to the marketplace, and subsequently rolled that out to a number of products which gave them the opportunity to take it to market, as I say, as a range rather than a kind of one-off product. The following slides just show you how that was kind of subsequently rolled out across their communications, online and packaging. This was the first store, so we're really proud of this photograph. So one of the salespeople in Scandinavia sent it to us. This was the first store in Denmark where Graft took over the shelves and knocked off one of the leading players. So that's the story of Graft. I would like to think that it highlights the value of a manufacturer thinking out of the box and thinking beyond the products that they have been making for a fair number of years. we were presented along the way. We got to know the team at Polyseam. Very interestingly, along the journey, one of Polyseam's clients or companies was called Protector. It was a Norwegian firm. Protector is a leading fire-resistant sealant and adhesive brand in Norway and across Scandinavia. They recognised that they wanted to expand internationally. They actually reversed into Polyseam, essentially bought the company. So we were kind of grappling then with the fact that we had Polyseam as a brand. This was their original logo when we started working with them. And we wanted to think about the opportunity to reposition them more of a brand house than as a manufacturer. Not only because that kind of highlighted innovation and positioned them very differently within the marketplace, but I think also gave them the opportunity to increase margins in the space in which they were working. We went on to consider Polyseam in consideration of a corporate identity with Graft and Protector underneath it, and subsequently went on to rebrand the entire operation. So that just gives you an indication of the Protector brand rebranded. So similar kind of products, but very focused on the fire-resistant market in Scandinavia and across the world. So that's a before and after. So Polyseam stopped talking about its organisation as one that is a manufacturer of product, but started talking about some of the impact that it has on the industry, some of the figures that it can trot out. It started to completely change the conversation in which it talked to its clients, which positioned the businesses in a very different way. In terms of our learnings as designers, it's really important that we recognise, and building on some of your points earlier, Simon, that design is a very evolutionary process. It doesn't happen first pass. IPT, you saw the packaging for that brand at the outset. We could have put that on the shelf. I'm sure that it would have sold. But actually, it's about really understanding the users, the competition, and the space in which we work in, so that we can iterate appropriately. Listen and observe your users, and ensure that we're market-led, not product-led. It's stuff that we all know, but I think sometimes it's just worth returning to during projects on which we're working. Start off with the numbers, we always say at the engine room. I think that it's really easy to get carried away by really nice-looking designs and really exciting projects, but actually we're commissioned to get involved with businesses, and businesses need commercial returns. So we need to understand what those commercial returns are, and we need to ensure that that business is going to return on their design investment. I think that's really important. I don't know how many designers we have in the room, but I think it's really important that as a design industry, we get the fact that actually this isn't all about art. It's actually about having a real business impact on some of the commercial clients with whom we're working.